At the end of every calendar year, the United States Supreme Court prepares an annual report, almost always written by the Chief Justice. And this past year, 2024, was no different. But this particular annual report by Chief Justice John Roberts, I think, served as a warning to Donald Trump what not to do if you want to play nice with the Supreme Court. Chief Justice Roberts, I think, was sending a warning. We gave you a lot, including absolute immunity, but if you start behaving like a king, we're going to clamp down on it. Or at least Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett may join the liberal justices to vote against some of Donald Trump's constitutional excesses. You may remember, if you've been following the videos that Harry and I did, we covered that report. But the words of that report and the historical context and analysis by Chief Justice John Roberts, who talks about the American Revolutionary War, he talks about King George III and the importance in our Constitution of an independent judiciary and why there's judicial review. And he talks about what he sees the big threats happening to the court. We were like, this seems to be a letter to Donald Trump and the Trump regime. Let me just show you some of the portions, because on Tuesday, we reported this before, but not in this context, Chief Justice John Roberts did an almost unprecedented thing. He stepped into the kind of political fora and he gave a statement saying, basically, shut up and stop whining on social media about judicial orders. If you want to appeal, go through an appeal process, but stop attacking federal judges. And Donald Trump's been attacking federal judges every single day now, it seems. The most recent attack by Trump was on Judge Boasberg, who's the chief judge in Washington, D.C. federal court right now, previously served as the chief judge of the FISA court. This guy who's got top-level experience. And as the chief judge of the FISA court, he saw foreign intelligence and highly classified information. He knows about how you deal with sensitive data and national security concerns. He's the guy, he's the judge who ordered that 14-day pause on Trump's invocation of the Alien Enemies Act, with Trump then just taking people who Trump claims are Venezuelan gang members, and without process, without evidence, without a hearing, Trump puts them on planes and ships them to El Salvador, where they go into concentration camps, almost never to be heard from again. And Trump and Fox do the headlines. These are gang members. These are terrorists. These are enemy combatants. Okay, then show the evidence. Show the evidence of that. But Trump's providing no process there. And Trump seems to have violated Judge Boasberg's order in sending a group of people who he claims are Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador. I can't even believe I'm saying that. And then Trump's attacking Judge Boasberg. Trump did this whole social media post. Boasberg needs to be impeached. Go after Boasberg, all in caps. Typical Trump BS kind of post. But let's just quickly, Harry Litman, go through just the key portions of this year-end report and what Judge Roberts was saying, Chief Justice Roberts. He talked about King George III, how he decreed from December 1761 on forward that colonial judges were to serve at the pleasure of the crown, that they have no judicial independence. It talks about, despite widespread disapproval in the colonies over this interference with independence of their judges, King George held his ground. Accordingly, the 9th of 27 grievances enumerated in the Declaration of Independence charged George III had made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of the office, and that amounted to payment of their salaries. So then, after securing independence, the fledgling United States did not immediately set about creating a national judiciary, but then it goes on to talk about how in the Constitutional Convention of 1787, in a tiny rebuttal to the king, Article 3, Section 1 of the Constitution states, the judges both of the Supreme and inferior courts shall hold their offices during good behavior and shall at stated times receive their services a compensation which shall not be diminished during their continuance in office. It goes on to then talk about Marbury v. Madison, the idea of judicial independence. And then here's what it says. Sorry, Harry, long buildup. Unfortunately, not all actors engage in informed criticism or anything remotely resembling it. I, Chief Justice Roberts, feel compelled to address 4 areas of illegitimate activity that, in my view, do threaten the independence of judges, which the rule of law depends. 1, violence. 2, intimidation. 3, disinformation. And 4, threats to defy lawfully entered judgments. Trump's doing basically all of those things. And when Trump attacked Boasberg and other judges, Roberts said the following, made a public statement, put a PR statement out. For more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision. The normal appellate review process exists for that purpose. Harry, sorry I went 6 minutes, buddy, but I had to break it all down.
Yeah. All right. Well, so look, here's what you broke down. A statement that he made in the year-end report, and you're right. That was full, I thought, as did you. We talked about it then, little hints to Donald Trump. No little hints here. This is like a sledgehammer over his head. First, I'm just here to tell you, any Chief Justice, but especially John Roberts, just making apropos of nothing without any involvement in a case, without any official role of reporting to Congress, just issuing a statement. I'll bet he's never done it I don't know when the last time any Chief Justice has done it. That's 1. 2, no way he does it without some kind of consensus, maybe not 9, but several justices on the Supreme Court knew about it and endorsed it. And it means they were truly alarmed, and makes all the sense in the world that they would. Point 3 is, Trump, knowing nothing, comes out and says he was Boasberg, sadly appointed by Barack Hussein Obama, back with the demagogic sort of Muslim baiting. Boasberg is a hugely well-respected judge on both sides of the aisle. The chief is who appointed him to the FISA court. They picked on the wrong guy here. So, and then 4th, that he did it so quickly. Trump says this in the morning, and in 2 hours, it's out. He must have just been revolted. So this, to me, was a really significant move on Roberts' part. Very, very unusual. And it shows both the degree of alarm. It's not only Trump, by the way. You've got 4 judges that different Republicans in Congress say it's time to impeach. And you have not just Trump, but Miller and Homan from his administration saying really, really ridiculous things, and probably Roberts fears endangering him. But the basic theme of shut the F up, you have a problem. That's what courts of appeals are for, not screaming for an impeachment process and trying to work up the whole American people. That was really significant. He said it, really significant what the content was and just the overall theme. Because look, this case, and probably this case, this Boasberg case involving the Alien Enemies Act, or other cases, are going to be coming to the court. And it's so important that 5 of them at least have their eye on the ball, the bigger issue of, wow, if we give him so much running room, and what's the administration asking for? Anytime he says national security, nothing else matters. Everybody has to shut up. No judicial review. Doesn't matter. That not to be too nuanced about it, that he's lying as he is here. That we can't just fall over and let the rule of law go over the waterfall. So it was really, I think, important that he was sending the message, that he sent it so quickly, what it said about other people. It's a big deal, I think, in terms of what's ahead. And I'm sure that people in the department and the administration took real stock of it and said, maybe we don't want to be out there sounding so friggin' crazy as we are.
As you said, and I want to just emphasize again, the Supreme Court never does this. Like, this is a Chief Justice never puts out a statement. As you said at the outset, unless there's a case, Justice doesn't give just advisory, PR statements, almost ever. Look, they give speeches in places where they speak sometimes in broad platitudes and, and legal minutia, and they talk broadly about concepts, but it's usually independent judiciary. But like being reactive to an active case that hasn't yet reached you, that's going to reach you, and kind of a slap down, even though the words by Chief Justice Roberts may seem to some like, okay, I mean, well, that didn't seem tough. That's being seen as basically like, you're not going to have a receptive audience here, and we're going to go hard. So is this the war you really want to pick? Harry, I'll give you the final thoughts here.
Well, just as they not only never do it, but they never, ever, ever do it to enter the political fray, right? A lot of them think they shouldn't have to go to the State of Union anymore. That's exactly where they don't want to pick sides. This is a political battle. This is Republicans saying for political reasons, any judge who rules against Trump should be impeached, etc. And so, Roberts smells how much it stinks to high heaven. Even so, as you say, not 9 times out of 10, not 99 times out of 100, 999 times out of 1,000, he lets it pass. That's the political fray. And except for the fact that this is going to have real effect on the legal culture and is trying to send some signal to Donald Trump, he would never have done it. So just the fact of his doing it alone is big news.
Everybody, make sure you subscribe to Harry Litman's YouTube channel, the Talking Feds YouTube channel, the Talking Feds Substack, and the Talking Feds podcast. You just search Talking Feds on all of those platforms. It's where I get my legal news from. I hope you do as well. Harry Litman from Talking Feds, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ben.
Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million here.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.